I would like to talk about why Invincible is the greatest superhero series so far. In this part of the video, there will be So I've watched all of the available episodes of Invincible so far, so 7 episodes, and it was great, considering the fact that I don't watch practically anything that takes me more than 3 hours to finish or has more than 3 parts. That was a great result, and I'm not really fond of superheroes. It's a great cultural phenomenon of the recent years, but I find them kind of dumb and naive, all the Marvel crap. I'm not really a hater. I watch them sometimes when I want to completely relax and just be brain dead for a second, because Marvel movies are kind of like a chewing gum for your brain. Your brain just chews on them and spits them out. They're completely shallow. And Invincible is different. I don't want to say that it's a revolution in the superhero genre because I'm an amateur, but it has that adult drive that is lacking in Marvel movies. Invincible is 18 plus, and that says a lot, and it's 18 plus at its finest. The only thing lacking is the explicit bang bang scenes, but we'll let Rule 34 work in this field. But in terms of blood and gore and everything else, it's next level. Again, I'm saying this from a completely amateur point of view. I'm even skeptical about all the superhero thing, but I've never seen heads blow up, just limbs fly over the place in any other superhero movie or cartoon. One exception, Watchmen from DC, was pretty cool. One of my favorite films and one of my favorite superhero films for sure. Maybe my favorite superhero film actually. But 18 plus isn't only about blood. It's also about complicity. And Invincible is quite complicated. The basis of the conflict is still unknown, and I'm waiting for episode 8 to reveal. I think it's going to be the final episode, and I'm waiting for the final episode to make things clear. I know there are comic books, but do you think if I'm not fond of superhero stuff, do I really read comic books? No, I don't. While you might think that bad guy is bad, there is still that unclearness, that doubt that makes you think maybe he's the good guy after all. And you don't know it till the very end. I still don't know it. This part has no spoilers, so I have to be very blurry about this stuff. But to sum up, there is no distinct good and bad like in Marvel, where everything is clear from the very beginning. There is a villain that appears that wants to destroy everything, and the heroes have to assemble and destroy the super villain. It's not like that. There is no villain in here. That it's much more complicated. But in Marvel, it's always kind of obvious from the very beginning. Don't get me wrong, everything is fine with Marvel. I don't want to bring hatred on me. I think it's fine. Again, it's a chewing gum. It's a roller coaster. And it's made for kids, so it has to be very clear for the kids to understand. In Invincible, you still don't know why bad is bad and is good really good. The love line is also not in your face like Spider-Man. There's Spider-Man and Mary Jane, and it's kind of 1+1 situation, the cliche. In Invincible, it's a bit more complicated, a bit more interesting for the mature audience. There are more than 2 people involved in the relationship. There are multiple characters. The question of having a normal life and being a superhero is raised, and the main character, Invincible, Mark, learns about what it's like to be a superhero the hard way. You might think nothing we haven't seen so far in other movies, but when I say the hard way, I mean 18 plus kind of hard way. Saving people isn't a blessing. It isn't fun like it seems in other movies. It's a curse to some degree, and it's real responsibility to have great power. Every topic, every moral question you've seen raised in other superhero films and cartoons so far unfolded in much deeper and better way. Now, this was the first part with no spoilers. Skip for this timing for the summary, and in this next part there will be You've been warned. So I love how bloody and gory part of Invincible catches you off guard. The whole first episode is your typical fun and games, rainbows all over the sky, superhero stuff. We're saving people, no one's dying, no blood except for like minor scratches. And then by the end of the episode you expect, okay, maybe some beating. between Omni-Man and the Guardians of the Globe. And there is this tension when Omni-Man grabs Red Rush's head that only releases when Omni-Man crushes his head, like in the most gory way possible, and everything goes slow motion, and heads fly, blow up, limbs fly over the place, bones break, and it doesn't stop till the very end in further episodes. And as by episode 7, I still don't know why Omni-Man did this. Is he a bad guy because he sometimes seems to regret it? Is he a good guy who knows something, but after all, the Guardians didn't seem bad too? He killed the Guardians only when Mark got his power, so is there a relation between these two events? What is the reason? In episode 2, Omni-Man says Earth isn't yours to conquer. Does that mean that Omni-Man wants to conquer the Earth? That's why he got rid of all the heroes. As for someone who haven't read the comic books, I'm very much intrigued. And you're genuinely concerned for characters' lives when Deborah finds Omni-Man's suit. You worry, is Omni-Man crazy? To the degree that you actually are worried that Omni-Man is going to kill his own wife. The question of what would the world do if someone literally invincible became a threat is shown very well. And a lot of people had this very question concerning Superman, but in this case, there is no kryptonite against this Superman. I'm waiting for the last episode, I'm still guessing. There are so many questions that need answering. Why did Omni-Man punch Mark in the chest so hard? He seemed so angry in the moment. Like, does he have a bipolar disorder? And Omni-Man can't really be the villain because he's the strongest creature on Earth, and there's literally no way of beating him. He killed all the Guardians 1v6, so there's no way his son is beating him. So to sum up, I wish there were more films and cartoons that aren't afraid to break this 18+ barrier. Invincible has reawakened my passion for superhero stuff, and I had this exact feeling, the same feeling when I watched Justice League as a child, and this Invincible feels like a more mature version of it. I'm not saying that it's completely different, there are no cliches, that it's a revolution in the superhero genre. No, it's still the authentic, classic superhero experience, but from a more mature point of view. Yet it's not truly bold and real life, because if you want something like that, you need to watch Daredevil or the Punisher series by Netflix. In Invincible, it's still that flying, laser shooting, super strong, magic casting superhero stuff, but you will like it and will find yourself intrigued and invested, even if you're more than 20 years old. Thank you for watching, leave a like, subscribe, and have a nice day.